I don't know who's
Security man, and then yeah, Kwame Pokudiano.
Then see.
I don't know me, woman be. A woman or.
As I said, you are going to
woman or tobu to mommy, like, be send me or yeah, the mommy. Inti, Ose Chukwaji number no. Sana or no, Wakwape woman, Kwame Poku Wakwape woman.
Welcome to Tactics and Touchlines. Today, we want to discuss more about the local scene, what is happening in our local football. Justice Blay is in the media. He had, that is a video or an interview with Pure FM or Pure TV, and they had a conversation about his history in Kotoko, and also there were concerns raised that there were rumors going on around meeting a security man. That has been a lot of rumors. So we'll watch the video, then after watching the video, we'll discuss what is going on.
Ntina me charge me phone na ofa me phone na do hwe ho na me phone say na me so me fa na dia na hwe ho na no so na dia na say na edane ntoka
okay
nta edane ntoka no na boys ne yeden omo bae nta omo bae na abe he na me dia be yeden be free ho nta that day no man dey fio
okay
man dey fio na me yeden
okay
95.7
ko nta de chi na me bae antime adeche me bae na eno de oye wesi man ya de na me de me di Kwame Poku kra kan bi se man ya de ono me like also me mu kra na me pasa me kasa no am so ebufo na aba na etwa so ti etwa so no sana boys ni bi ma ge no so on call report to police station na ge no so ye de on call report ye nti adeche ye no me ho na police ni frame me say membra obi abaye we wo police station wo I from me so police station na me so okay na me je kwa me ka na me de call police station wo so me de call na police station police ni say oni mi into what there say issue we there on pesa baye gidigidi bia wo there me nkoye again the phone ye den emano
na tuntwa
okay na me yeden me san two car na me koyeden me koyiska na me de ma again no so on the onji no fon koye ni phone na asam no ayeden
two try
te two try no a deep 2 days na again yeden me I want me block again no
okay
te do 2 days no na again yeden or the different like the frame tell me your friend from business and whiny and son or teach him say osimesi we ano ansesi na me say adent no frame me oguma ni ma say wi nti ehun yen so be frame me no say like enyo no incidents na esi ye no like boys na no mo kakan ya na ama me dia asam ne yeden e de call police
station okay
na omo say me dia sa na meti na me say okay anya hwe me oguma ni ma say wi nti we dia yen twa so no obi a anya den on find anyway nti sa na note na yin say get ne buy no Omakana makamara. What issue na say? Omakana makamara. Inti edi 1 week. Get ni ja no watch. Awo me ho. Inti no watch no. Me ma blocking inti no ntimi nye den. Ene me nchate ana say no mbisa me. Inti oni asabu. Osabu.
Okay.
Ajeti. Ono nti get ne chat ya. Now I catch him say again no so person over then fan watch nti again can say am me yeden em for watching yeden em fan man em fan koshia no nti obi mfa yeden for coaching koshia no nti Ali makra bi ono sim nza mama me Ali ono na oye say or the watching the call na me say no mama anga sa me for watching yeden mfa koshia no nti me the watching koshia no sana again wasan de na danfo for the naba nti I say or the back on the ama abro na your friend say me die na oba me ho no omo aka na makamara na omo ba sha eho eba ne sa na me say na say why say
so after watching the video we all got to see what he discussed, but there were some key points he mentioned that were not even highlighted in the video. That one, he is a drunkard or he drinks, and some of the Kotoko players also drinks. And there are some who are taking shisha also at their camp. So today I want to find out for our pundits, is our local football, are we doing something serious here? Or we are just playing and the players are also taking advantage of it? Because we've seen rumors or some of the players betting with their games and making sure they cash out after the game. And we've seen rumors of dramas and a whole lot of things about our local football. Today, we want to go into it and what should we do to be able to get our local football back to those days, the 2000s and the 2001s, where Haas and Kotoko were dominating. So I'll start from Raf. Justice Blay is a Kotoko player. He's one of the most experienced Kotoko players. Recently, he's out of contract with them. And some Kotoko fans were even pushing that they should give him that senior most role where when new players come in, he would orient them into the team. Hearing or watching a video like this, what do you think about him as a player? And also, was it right for him to go to a media house and share confidential information like this?
What Justice Blay has done boils down to the fact that he's in so much pain. Justice Blay didn't expect Kotoko to treat him like that. Kotoko has offloaded about 10 players whose contracts were not renewed when their contract ended. Some of the players have won the league title with them. I know one of them, some of them who I don't want to mention their names. So that shouldn't be as if because I know the person, that is why I'm trying. But then sometimes the mismanagement in some of our local clubs is too much. Last week we were talking about how Kotoko will be playing a Justifier whilst they have to prepare for a season. They are now playing Justifier on cruisings and other things. Now, aside everything, there's the politics in the Kumasi Satu Kotoko team is so high. There's so much politics in the team. I mean, everybody has a favorite. Team managers have their favorite. Every staff member or every staff in the Kotoko team has a favorite, and everybody's pushing for his player to get the starting place. So what Justice Blay came out to do was to just, he was like, now this is it. I have not been treated fairly. I'll just go there and say whatever I have to say without any remorse, or I'll not feel anything. I'll just see it as it is. Since he feels like he has not been treated well, he have tarnished his image, etc. He also went there like, now this is it. Let me just do what I'm supposed to do and go. But on the side of Justice Blay, professionally, what he did wasn't right. You can't go on air, especially on maybe a national channel, TV or YouTube channel, and speak ill about your players like this. You know, most of these are players we have in Ghana. In Europe, these players have experts who advise them as to what they should say when they are interviewed after games, and also maybe before games or after games. But our players just go and they speak anyhow. So this one boils down to poor lack of communication. When you're a footballer, it's not only about you going out there to play. You have a team those in charge of communications, doctors, personal physios, etc. You know, all these things played a role for him to go out there and say those things. Now, when somebody smokes, that is not your business. How a player feels like taking care of himself is not your business. But all I'm saying is that it is lack of communication. He didn't communicate properly. He didn't have anybody to coach him as to what he should say and what he shouldn't say. There are many players who have left Kotoko and they are very, 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 very pained. They are hurt by how Kotoko treated them. I can tell you emphatically, I was at the stadium on Sunday, and I can tell you with so much authority that the players who played for Kotoko on that day, the next 3 years, they will not be at Kotoko. Some of them will be in the house. It's not as if they are going to get different clubs, or they have a better contract outside or something. But most of them will be released for them to go for free. And I don't know how these teams are managing players like that, whereby a season ends and players' contracts are not renewed, they are on free transfer, they start going to lower clubs. So I'd like to say that the players coming up, you know, the journalist always wants the headline. Currently, the show Justice Blay, or the interview Justice Blay had with Bryce Kankambodi, which is a Pure FM, is not trending. He has gotten the headline. He has gotten whatever he's supposed to do. So he's going to pose the questions to you. So you, the player, if you are not smart enough to be able to swerve or speak very well, you are going to be the headline. That is going to be the end of you. If other teams also see such vital information is being spilled out in the public. So I'd like to say that they should check this out and then work properly.
Okay, I want to find out from you, Sam. Do you think we have a big problem in the country, especially our clubs? Because we've seen in Europe, players like Jude Bellingham, when they go for interviews, you could see that they are well trained and everything they say is on point. We've seen players who are being put on on videos on what they think about something, and they'll just intelligently put it aside and make things go. Now in this video, he was able to say a lot. One, about he having, let's say, a woman he was dating, and a friend had to take the woman. Is it bad for teams to camp players? And one, do we need PR, especially training for these our local players going forward?
I think last week somewhere we had an off page discussion about how to build this our Ghana league, because it's not dead. Because I watched the Kotoko and Hearts match on TV, and remember I was telling you guys how beautiful the game was. Now that aside, we know we there's a lot of work to be done at the GFA aspect and even the sports ministry aspect. But as a footballer, it's not just you playing on the pitch. I think mentality and personality-wise also count a lot. We've seen players in Europe make slides or lose comments, and they've lose their position in their various teams. In as much as they've made wrong comments, I've never heard of or seen any player make such degrading comments about teams or about team players or about you personally, you as a player and the team you played for. No matter how hurt you are, at the end of the day, you should at least, how should I be saying, manage the things that comes out of your mouth, because your words can be your downfall also. For a player that I don't really think he wants to end his football career at that stage, but for a player to come out and say these things about your own co-players, it sends wrong messages to various directions, and they need that PR. I've always been that one guy that when that conversation comes about us playing our local players in the Black Star teams, I go like, challenge. It's they're not ready yet. There's you could see clearly that there's more that they need to learn. There's more that work that needs to be done internally, even with the players and the team, because you can't just come out and say these things and expect that the day will go back normally and things will be cleared. No, they need to go through. Football has changed now. EPL now, I heard there will be interviews after every first match, stuff like that. So if this is being done in our Premier League, then the things that we hear after first match and after second half will be very, very, very bad. I think he made a very, very wrong move. I don't know who advised him to do what he did, but they need to go through that process of how to talk or how to answer questions when you've been interviewed. There's a lot of work that needs to be done in a football system here in Ghana.
Okay, Prince, let's look at it from this aspect. Do you think with these messages being brought out, some are saying they are emotional messages because every player he mentioned, his name has something to do with him, especially when it comes to his female friends. So maybe he's trying to just tarnish their image and also make sure they also feel the same hurt he went through during those times. Do you think this will go on and have a big impact on the players, especially a player like Kamara, who is not a Ghanaian, coming from another country to play in Ghana? Do you think it will have a big impact on him playing in the local league and in Kumasi? And also, what do you think the FA needs to do, especially with situations like this? Should there be a sanction on maybe media houses on some of the players when some issues like this get into the media space? Because the league is always having bad drama around it, and this is also adding up. What do you think the FA needs to do? And the likes of Kamara, how would they be treated after this message?
Okay, with the FA, I think there should be a thorough a discipline committee that handles certain things like this, you understand? Because if a player is to come out and tarnish the image of his own colleague that he has been playing on the same field with, it creates an environment that's not comfortable or that's not convenient for the team, the whole team. You get it? And I don't know if they have a psychologist in a team that will cycle players up and be like, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. A communication specialist in a team that helps the players communicate well. Because when you look at clubs like Real Madrid can come out and be like, the early part of the season, players are not allowed to grant interview because the communication team wants to protect the image of the club. I don't know if we have a thing of that sort in Ghana football. You get, so I don't know about that. I don't know if they have a communication team. I don't know if they have a therapist or a team that takes charge of players' mentality, how they think and how they look at each other. But with the FA, we all know how our FA is over here in Ghana here, because it's quite unfortunate. We have so many issues to deal with. Issues even with fans going to stadium and being stabbed. There's so many issues that comes with our football that doesn't paint it so nice to the diaspora. So I don't know how well they can even, the ones that are not solved can even be tackled, and there are more coming up. So I believe the FA has to sit back, get a team that handles certain issues like this, so we get to paint a nicer image of the league. Because I believe so that every other league in the world has its own difficulties, has its own disadvantages, but they have a way of making it look good. So it doesn't have a way of making painting the bad side only. So I believe so that the FA has to wake up and do something better for the image of itself in the league. Something
quickly to what
Prince.
I feel our players must be educated as well. I remember when Kosini Anteti was the GFA president, he introduced something, books and boots, whereby football in Ghana was there were too many illiterates, sorry to say, playing the game. So therefore, he wanted to involve more educated people. You understand? Most of our players, when they are being interviewed, cannot speak or cannot express themselves very well. Others are saying that, oh, okay, we are in Ghana, they should speak their tree like that. But for how long? You will not be playing in Ghana forever. You go to Europe, you go to Asia, you go to South America, and you'll be asked questions, and you'll be forced to, not forced, but you must answer the questions in English. So they need education. I think we have to discuss this topic thoroughly. So I want you to continue for now, so that when you come back we can. Yeah.
Okay, so with this issue, I think Kotoko needs to have an internal discussion. They need to invite the player, because there's a club's image that is being brought out. Some players are still in the squad, and there's a big worry for them. Also with their families, maybe some are married, and with these women being involved, it will bring a whole lot of issues with their families. But I think we need to also educate our players, as Raf said. It's something important that needs to be done. So thank you for joining us on this show. We discuss about a trending issue on Justice Blay, and we are looking forward for this case to bring a whole lot of question marks, especially about the FA and the way they run their things, and also some of our players, their decision making when it comes to expressing themselves emotionally or any other ways. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and also share. Join our Telegram channel to be able to be part of our community, to have discussions, and we would also invite you to be part of the show. So thank you for watching the show.